Well, hey there, everybody. So I'm wearing. This doesn't have anything to do with the Minnesota Wild, but it does have something to do with Minnesota. Now, I don't understand this. The Minnesota team, the PWHL Minnesota team, who just won the first ever Walter Cup, the PWHL championship. They become the first ever winners of it. They have the draft coming up in just a couple days, and I see here on the Athletic that the Minnesota women's PWHL team, Natalie Darwitz, they let her go. It's interesting. There seems to be kind of conflicting reports because apparently this happened. I mean, what's today? Friday. Yeah, today's Friday. So apparently this happened yesterday. Now, why, I have no idea. Nobody seems to know why. It hasn't even been announced by the league yet. Which, interestingly enough, the league owns all 6 teams. So, and being here in Minnesota, I'd kind of like to know why. I mean, why would you? I mean, you have a general manager. And she's the general manager. Why in the world would you fire a general manager right after winning a championship, and yet only 3 days before their draft? What I don't understand it. And the fact that a particular team source here in the Athletic called it pretty shocking. You think? I would say so. I don't understand what. I mean, I don't know. I don't understand why you would do that. Why would you fire a general manager right after winning a championship? And then right before the draft? And especially considering Natalie Darwitz, she's pretty well known here in the state of Minnesota. I mean, she won two national championships with the University of Minnesota women's team. She won 3 Olympic medals with Team USA, and she was inducted into the U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame in 2018. And she was also inducted into the IIHF Hall of Fame during the Minnesota final, during the PWHL Minnesota title run. So why I don't understand this. And I mean, it goes and says here, as general manager, Darwitz built a deep and competitive roster through the draft and free agency, led by American stars Taylor Heise, who ended up winning the playoff MVP, Kendall Coyne Schofield, Grace Zumwinkle, Lee Steckline, Nicole Hensley, who backstopped Minnesota to that title. And and she said she opted to draft several players who were local to Minnesota. Well, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? Minnesota's got a really good women's hockey pool here. I mean, there are some damn good players, women's players in Minnesota. So of course, why wouldn't you do that? It makes sense. And it's weird. I guess I don't know. And it says, in February she traded forward Susanna Tapany for a young star defender in Sophie Jacques, who oddly enough led all defenders in scoring in the postseason. So she makes good trades. She only made one apparently, but she made a good one. And you're firing her. It's weird. Now, I mean, Minnesota didn't exactly end the season that great. They ended their season on a 5-game losing streak. I mean, it was looking like they might not even make the playoffs. So I don't know, but they picked the right time to get hot because Toronto, who had the best record of the 6 teams, they decided, well, Minnesota's the number 4 seed. We'll play them. And they jumped up 2-0, and we're thinking, oh, Minnesota's, they're done, But then they lose their best player, which, I mean, that happens. It sucks, but it happens. They lose their best player. She blows her knee. Minnesota comes fighting back to win 3 straight, win the series, go to the finals, look like they have the championship won. They lost game 1 of the final series against Boston. And then what they do? They won 2 in a row. Looked like they had the title won on home ice. It got taken from them. But how did they respond? They responded by coming back and putting a beat down on PWHL Boston, who, and they win the Walter Cup, the first ever PWHL title. So you're going to go and fire the person that made these decisions, that built the team through good drafting, and free agents who they had a chance. Okay, here's where they can sign free agents, and they all were able to come. They were all and he signed some great players. I mean, hello. You win a championship. I'd say you did pretty good. But then you fire her 3 days before the draft. Their draft is coming up in 3 days. I don't understand this. And it blows my mind. And and somebody else here went and said here in the article, besides building it from the bottom and setting everything up and drafting and signing the players that led us to a championship, Natalie Darwitz, they're talking about, she spent hours and hours doing everything, waking up at 4 a.m., moving equipment to the rink, hanging dirty equipment, unpacking bags, stuff like that. I mean, stuff GMs don't do. And that's true, GMs don't do that. And the team source, said, it's a real shame. Yeah, it is a real shame. I don't understand it. I do not understand it. And I don't know if we're going to find out exactly why they decided to do this. My thought is this, is they better have had a damn good reason. Honestly, I hope it's maybe because, who knows, maybe an NHL team went and called her up one time and said, hey, I think you maybe could be a good asset maybe in our front office, or doing stuff like that. I think maybe you could be an asset to us, and we'd like to interview you. We'd like to maybe bring you in. Where, of course, my thought is, hey, why couldn't the Minnesota Wild find a place for her? Pretty sure they could. Maybe she could be, somebody who could work alongside Bill Guerin in the front office, or being that she knows hockey, maybe an assistant coach. I think that would be fabulous. I could see her behind the bench as an assistant coach in the NHL. I think that would be awesome. Some other interview, something. There's got to be a specific reason for this. I don't know why. I would hope that maybe it's that. Maybe she's got some NHL teams that have been calling her up saying, we'd like to bring you in. Because I don't know. I mean, she was a general manager for the women's team. She knows a little something about front office, obviously. So maybe she's been talked to for front office positions in the NHL. I think that would be awesome. I think that would be absolutely fantastic. My thought is if that happened, right here, I think that could be fun. But I mean, what other reason? I mean, I can't imagine. I mean, can you imagine how she feels right now? To just all of a sudden, you come off a championship, you're riding that high, and then all of a sudden you're told earlier in the week, yeah, we're firing you. Excuse me? Yeah, we're firing you. I just built this team that won a championship. What the hell you mean you're firing me? Yeah, we're firing you. You do realize the draft is next week. Yeah, we're firing you. For some reason, this is such a Minnesota thing to do. Because this is the stupid things that Minnesota teams seem to do. And this is a team that just come off winning a championship and they turn around and they do something stupid. This is such a Minnesota thing to do. And I think it's, I don't know. I don't know if we are going to hear what exactly the case is, or why they let her go. But I mean, she's not. I mean, obviously they fired her, so she's not going to be at the draft on Monday. So who's? I guess I don't understand it. I think this is just weird. I mean, like I said, unless she's had interviews with NHL teams, maybe. I'm like Charlie Harper in that one episode of 2.5 Men. I do not understand. I don't understand this. I really don't. But again, this seems like such a classic Minnesota stupid thing to do. A general manager builds your team from the ground up the very first year, builds a team up through the draft, free agency, a timely trade. You end up winning a championship, and barely a week later, yeah, you're fired. Really? Like I said, I hope we find out, because I really want to know, because this to me is absolute BS. Absolute BS to me. Unless she's been interviewed by NHL teams that she's been thinking about, maybe she's been offered a job from let's just say Minnesota. Let's just say the Minnesota Wild offered her a job in the front office. Okay, I can see that. I can see then that may be getting leaked and then saying, but then I don't think they would do it like that. I would think they'd be happy for her, saying, "Hey, you're gonna move up. You're moving up to the NHL here. That's awesome." But not like this. Something. Let's just say something. Kind of smells rotten in Denmark here. Something's fishy here, and I don't know what. I don't know if we'll ever know what. I hope we do, especially as Minnesota fans. But yeah, I think unless she has been interviewed and is accepting a job with an NHL franchise, I think this is a bad thing. This is not a good thing. Not a good look for a team that just came out of their first year, became the first ever league champions, and then you decide, yeah, we're gonna fire the woman that put it all together. Again, such a Minnesota thing to do. Let me know what you guys think, though. You think something's fishy here? I kind of think something's fishy here, but we don't know. And even when the league announces it, we're not sure exactly what the reason was. But let me know what you guys think. I think something's fishy here, and I really hope that maybe she can get a job in as in the front office of an NHL team. I think that'd be awesome. But everything that she did as a GM, and for her to get basically unceremoniously dumped, basically like this, yeah, not right. Not a good look. Not a good look for a team that just came off winning a championship, the first ever league championship. But again, classic Minnesota. Let me know what you guys think. Hit that like button. It would be greatly appreciated. Also, if you, it would be awesome and greatly appreciated too if you would hit that subscribe button. And, you can also tap that little bell too. And if you want to share this video or any other any other video from the channel with friends, family, who else, that would be incredible. I would enjoy that. And again, let me know what you think about this. You think something's fishy here? I think something's fishy here. And as a Minnesota sports fan, I want to know exactly what it is. See y'all later.